follow RW. They were with RW. Now, I remember that one TNX show. I had that TNX intro mocking the people of the anti-Nexus. Now, of course, that I was driven by rage. I was driven by hate. I was driven by bitterness.
That was right after we found out that PG had leaked the groups.
Yeah, I was really angry at that time, and now I'm kind of not proud of it. Of course, that's not really me. That's not the true me. But that was me driven by driven by hate and all that shit, because it all happened after RW Mania when they didn't want to leave RW, when after their best friends just got wronged. And I know for a fact that was bullshit, because when TNX happened, when I quote unquote wronged Brock, a lot of like the anti-Nexus got formed, and one by one every anti-Nexus member just left TNX, and then they didn't want anything to do with me. They sneak dissed me, and a lot of things happened then, and it was crazy. It was absolutely crazy, because RW Mania, I think that impacted Pro Wrestling as a whole, because for a while it painted me as a villain and painted RCC as what his gimmick is, as some sort of savior, because only people that assume the situation and people that they just want to take the problem at surface value, and they didn't have any insight into what happened. Even the bystanders at RW Mania didn't know, and they wanted to have assumptions and crap. They want to have so much assumptions. It was so stupid. It was stupid how people just assumed that Hub and I would just spit in his face for no reason. It was crazy. It was stupid. And I know when the second half of the year happened, it was crazy, because it wasn't fun. Pro wrestling wasn't fun. After that, it was a struggle. It was a struggle keeping my reputation up, because my reputation, quote unquote, it got destroyed. Like it made me so angry, and I don't know why people would turn on me like that, because I ain't do nothing. I just hosted my Fed and wrestled. That's all I did, and people still turn on me. I still don't understand what happened. I don't still understand why Anti-Nexus was made. I don't still understand why we're not still a brotherhood anymore. Like, it hurt me, because they were good friends. And after RW Mania, that all changed. You could see fractures. You could see rifts in the brotherhood.
You can see
a lot of things. Yeah, you can see a lot of things.
See the crack in the force.
It wasn't right. It wasn't right. I was did wrong. And if you ask me today and ask me if I'm still bitter from that, hell yeah, I'm still bitter. I'm probably gonna still be bitter, because I hold grudges. I don't know why I do, but I hold grudges. But it's just one day I'll let it go. But that's crazy. That's crazy what happened. And they apologize, and I accept their apologies. I'm in a good relationship with them now. But what they did wasn't good, and a lot of people liked it. A lot of people liked the Mask and Film. A lot of people I thought would never like it would like it, and a lot of people turned on me that time, and they didn't turn on Hub. Hub was still respected immensely, and they didn't turn on Hub, but they turned on me. I don't understand why, and I'll probably never understand why, unless someone just comes clean about it. It doesn't matter really that much anymore. But this is just speaking from my heart and speaking to what I need to get off my chest concerning this incident that I've been keeping in for a while. I just want people to know my story. I want people to know why this happened. That's why I want to know. You can go on the Hub, but I had to speak my side, because it was crazy.
Well, I'm glad you got that off your chest, and this has been just one of them things where you're just like, you just had to do it. And I mean, I think that people don't understand what the 28th of June felt to all of us, because it was a day that we lost what we really cared for. Like, we lost our friendship between each other. Like, for months on end, I didn't even know that, Brock and them had hated me, or I didn't because, at the time I was young, I was stupid. I joked around. It was funny. Like, some people laugh with me. And, I'd just be like, I'm just playing, guys. But, after that, I never when Richard finally told me why the Skype crew separated, why I wasn't invited in any calls or anything, and he told me that they didn't want to add you, and it was just mainly them. I just kind of felt like that's a sense of betrayal because I'd stick my neck out for y'all. I stick my neck out with DDoSers and shit, and you couldn't give me the simple courtesy of adding me to a Skype call because you felt like I was too much of like a jokester or something, and it was stupid. And I think RW Mania, the one thing that I always regret about RW Mania is I didn't see the shit before it hit the fan. I didn't see that my whole match was probably scripted. Like, I really didn't see it. I knew something was wrong when, instead of us having a great match, it was clean instead of TD. So, I'm kind of thinking like, what the fuck? What's going on? So then I already knew from Jump Street I wasn't going to win. And, I just prayed that it didn't happen to you and Hub, that y'all didn't get fucked over. And, y'all ended up fucking over the fuck over. But Hub, you got to get I got to get here your rant, the goat.
All right, so first off, sorry I had to go eat. That's what we have to do in life.
I have to go do that in a sec, so I'll be right back.
I don't know how much you covered Sonic.
He covered
Well, I did cover. I did go on an extended rant because I knew you were eating, so I had to make sure I covered your ass. But yeah.
Did you talk about the night itself?
Yeah, I talked about knife. I went in depth. I made sure I dragged it out as long as possible so you can eat.
So I probably won't take as long. Sonic covered most of it. I'll just tell for my part. Excuse me. So it was Night of Mania, day, whatever you want to say. Everybody was excited. We all woke up decently early.
Got the Skype call and shit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we all got on a Skype call. We all went there pretty early to try and get a spot in the server. Sonic was gone all day. I was listening to my theme as well. That was back when I was still the Hurricane. So, I was just getting ready. I loved the idea of having 100 people watching. That was like the most interesting part to me, was having 100 people watching. And that's what I was most excited for, because then I know that people would really know, how good we are. So, pay-per-view comes along. I'm sure Sonic already went over how, garbage it was. It was, wasn't anything special. I think it was poorly prepared for. First couple matches were garbage. The admin or community, whatever he is, when he came, he stayed for like 15 minutes. And, when the arena started to lag, problems started to come up. He wasn't online to help. So, it was, kind of, you can't really do much there. You can't really prevent problems from happening there if you have nobody to help. So we had to keep going on. And as the, show went on, started to get pretty disappointing because I realized, we weren't going to have 100 people because RCC was talking about moving to a 50 people server. So we ended up moving back to his original place, which, was still laggy itself. So no problems were really solved. I wish they would have prepared the show a little better. And as the show went on, me and Sonic probably weren't the only ones joking on it, but we still were. Talking about how bad it was, and it started to get to RCC's head a little bit. He started to get upset, and he started to show that anger that he had, pent up anger from how bad his show was. I think you really see how somebody feels when they're mad, because they won't hold anything back. And he said what he said. I'm sure Sonic went over. He talked about PWH, and really went more on Lonnie than he got on me. But he called Lonnie some names. Like I said, I'm sure Lonnie went over those. And in the Skype chat, that was the moment. Like, I remember a long time ago, not too long ago, some wrestlers made this like this little live stream podcast talking about RW Mania, and I don't even know what they were thinking. They said like it was like scripted or something. It was all like planned. Like what kind of ridiculous shit are you talking about? You know, we planned it in the Skype chat a little bit before the main event, not too long, because Sonic had to go and time was running out. And at that point, we were still going to do the main event, but eventually Sonic got granted more time, and that's when we were like, all right, so here's what we're going to do. And we talked about it in that group chat. We said, well, what's going to happen? We said we were just going to leave. We're going to walk out. We're not going to do this match because of how this man is treating us. And eventually the main event came. PG and Finn really got the main event of RW Mania. They had a good match. And then we ended up going out there and did exactly what we planned. I mean, Sonic didn't get his RW Mania entrance. I got mine. I was like, okay. Then the match came, and the rest is history. Sonic, quote unquote, spit in his face, and we both walked out. And apparently he fired us. We walked out. I don't understand how you can fire us after we walk out. But we left. We got banned. And he went on a little rant, and he said that he was going to keep RW running and stuff like that, which I'm sure he was going to do from the start anyway. Now he just has a reason to do it. And that's when, like, a lot of people don't know. I don't know if Sonic talks about it. RCC was like going to try to go to war with TNX and PWH. He's going to try to run on our time slots and all this garbage. And me and Sonic we're totally fine with that. We wanted him to, because I think that we both knew that that we could together. We obviously could take him down like some fucking boss fight or something like that. To me, it was a no contest, and I think RCC realized that, especially with help from Brent and SDR. They both kind of convinced him, which I found was hilarious, because pretty hypocritical of Brent and SDR, the fact that they still associate with RCC, even though at the end of the pay-per-view they were bashing him and saying, they were apologizing for how terrible the show was and how, ignorant RCC was and all this crap. And of course, just like everybody else that left, I'm sure Sonic went over that too. Everybody, people started to walk out, but then like 2 weeks later they would go back. So they didn't really walk out. They just wanted to make it look cool. They wanted to try to follow and be as effective. And of course they weren't, which I find laughable, because they just make themselves look even more dumb. Tiny walking out, then he goes back and they praises RCC. These kids, it's like their hormones are going crazy. They don't they don't know what they want. They want to do something, then they do another thing. And that's how it was. And I remember I took a small break after RW Mania. I was a couple weeks after it. I took a break. I came back. And I saw that someone was up with the group chat. Like, everybody was like separated, all this stuff happening, apparently all these people getting on Sonic, and it was crazy. I still don't really fully know why all that happened. Everybody split. I only know like a small part, something about something with Lonnie, they didn't like him or something. I don't really know. It's kind of dumb that they didn't like him. And I heard Lonnie talking about the fact that they still respected me. That's true. I don't really know why they respect me, but they don't respect him. I don't really do much. But it was kind of funny that they bit the hand that feeds them. And actually down the line, they end up coming back just like they did with RW. They left and they came back, and still to this day, we're on good terms, but nowhere near as good as everybody was beforehand, which it does suck, because we were all really good friends, and then this event happens, which caused us to split. it still kind of is like that to this day. I mean, there are separate group chats, which I really don't think there should be, but it's just how people are. When things happen, people try to take advantage of it, and people end up changing along the way. And that's what I see the most on Skype after the backlash of the event, because I don't think people realize a lot of stuff that happened because of RW Mania. I'm sure Sonic ended up talking about it, how all of us kind of split up because of it, which you wouldn't really think that something like that would cause it, because we all you would have thought that we were all together, we all like agreed with the idea, and that's how it kind of was at first. And I think we talked about it in the all right, we talked about it in the chat. Everybody was for it. Everybody said that they were going to walk out with us, and of course they didn't. They still stayed there, and I personally, it doesn't really matter to me. I didn't ask anybody else to walk out. It was all their own decisions. Like, I didn't ask Dame or Tiny to walk out. I didn't really care if they walked out or not. I just knew that I wanted to walk out. I knew Sonic wanted to walk out. And it was something that was thought up on the spot. It wasn't planned like for a week or months or like a year and a half. It wasn't planned for any period of time. It was on the spot, a couple of matches before the main event, and we said, and Sonic brought up the idea to me. He said, "You know what? I think I'm just gonna walk out." And I said, "All right, you want to walk out together?" And he said, "Well, no homo on that," and he said, "Yeah, and the rest is gone." And all the events that happen afterwards are because of that decision. Everything that happens now is because of that decision. Not in wrestling, but I mean, like Skype social wise, because we're still kind of separated to this day. And PG, he made that bold decision to give out Sonic's group. I mean, I'm sure he regrets it to this day, but there's no going back on that decision. I mean, it's going to be like that forever. And, I'm sure he's, he still regrets it. They're they're obviously on all good terms. I'm on good terms with all of them, I would imagine. I hope so. But it still kind of does suck that we're all separated because of that, because there's no reason to be separated. We all do the same thing. We all like the same thing. And it's just kind of dumb how we separate because of that, because we're all good friends. We're all like best friends. We help each other out with anything. But I guess some people can't really see that. So I'll leave that up to them. I was happy with the decision that we made. I think that it was the right decision to do. Influenced a lot of people, apparently. A lot of people were interested by it. Brought a lot of attention to TNX. It was mainstream before, but it was crazy afterwards. And, of course, a little while after that, PWH ended. That was inevitable. It had nothing to do with politics or like any other fed. It was completely on me to end it. You gotta do what you gotta do. I don't have time for it anymore. It was fun while it lasted. I mean, that basically covers anything. Anything that I can think of. I'm sure Sonic got the loose ends that I don't remember. I mean, it was a big event, big moment. I'm glad to have been a part of it. I'm sure Sonic could say the same thing. Right.
Yeah, it's done. Yeah, I mean, that's all I can say. I know Temple is still recording.
All right, bro, I'm back.
Pimp, are you there? Okay, well,
Was that it?
that's it.